Hello everyone and welcome to today's video, and with the World Cup for 2026 coming right around the corner, I thought we would take the time and talk about some of the LEGO sets that are related to it because we do have quite a few. And just so you know, this video is going to talk about them in order from cheapest to most expensive. So the first one here is the FIFA World Cup 2026 official emblem for $25. All of these sets are already out, by the way. I do believe some of them came out on June 1st, so all of these are now out just in time for the World Cup, which I believe starts the 18th, I think. Don't really know. It starts soon. I know that, but this one is actually very nice. It looks very similar to the real emblem. If you look at these, I can really appreciate the design on the trophy. The only difference is the color scheme, and I have seen some versions of the logo that does have this more colorful looking design, so it is cool that LEGO went with that route, and that is the whole point of the World Cup, to kind of be all kind of fun and bright and colorful and everything. So it is nice that LEGO did this design rather than just a plain black design. As far as putting the this set on display, you can stand it up with this stand in the back, and then there is also the little hook to hang it up, so it looks like this. In the real world, you can put it on a wall or kind of on a shelf, and I do think it looks cool. And like I said, I do think the all the colors are really cool, and like I said, it kind of embodies the spirit of the World Cup. I do think the set is very nice. It's definitely a pretty decent set for its price. This one and the next one I feel like are pretty decently priced. Like I said, the design on the trophy, even though it's really small, still looks pretty accurate, so that's definitely a cool thing. And then next up here we have the 2026 U.S. Soccer National Team jersey for also $24.99. And this set is actually pretty cool. I do like that they went ahead and made this jersey, and I feel like they kind of decided to do the U.S. because of the whole America 250 thing, which is kind of why the characters say 26, not only because it's 2026, but 250th, all that, because I do feel like LEGO could have made jerseys for other popular countries like Argentina. England is, I believe, a favorite to win, but some other teams, but they went and just did the U.S., and I live in the U.S. I mean, look at the name of my channel, so I definitely like this one. But like the other World Cup emblem, you can hang or stand this set, and the other cool thing is you can actually decide how your minifig looks. So here's some different variations, but obviously, as you can see in some of the pictures, it says models cannot be built simultaneously, so it has a max of 2 characters, one of the dark blue and one of the red and white. And then the other cool thing about this set is you can switch around the numbers on the back of the jersey to make it whatever number you want. You can make it 26, you can make it 1, you could make it basically any number from 1 to 99, I believe. So that's definitely a cool thing. But next up here we have 4 of these kind of subline sets, and these are all of the soccer highlight sets for different players. So we have, and sorry if I get these names wrong, Vinny Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, and then Lionel Messi. All of these are getting their own soccer highlights. They are all $30, and then these are some of the top players for soccer. I'm not a big international soccer person unless it's the World Cup. I do like the World Cup, so that's why I made this video. But the cool thing about these is you can get the minifigs for all of these, and they do look very, very nice, very detailed and stuff. And if you guys remember, a while ago I had made a short talking about LEGO making NFL sets, and now they're getting all of this with all these players. So I'm kind of hoping that LEGO could look at this, see how well these sell, maybe, I don't know. I'm hoping, but it's probably not likely. But the cool thing about these sets is they're each kind of unique to the player and the country that the player is from. The shaping is very different, if you see here. And then the different posability you can have for these minifigs was actually very creative. Minifigs are not really known to be very posable as far as things go, but LEGO definitely, you can tell these designers looked at a minifig and really pushed the edge of what we can do with these, so that's definitely very cool. I feel like all of these sets are kind of worth the price. It is a little much, but knowing that they are soccer players, I kind of see why they are a little more expensive, and sets will definitely get expensive here. The next sets we have is another kind of subline with 2 players. These are the soccer legend things. We have one for Cristiano Ronaldo and then one for Messi. And these are actually pretty cool because, as you just saw, they each have the like standard design, but you can also pose them in different positions, kind of like kicking the ball, dribbling, whatever. And it is very cool, and I feel like the design on these characters are really nice. At first, I kind of thought they were like the old buildable Star Wars characters with just a bunch of plates, but if you look, they are actually mostly brick built. The only like kind of technic part is the joints, and then the head is all one piece, so that's definitely very cool, very unique, and very different. I feel like these are a little steep on the price, but it is kind of hard to tell from the pictures how big they are, so they might be a little larger. I'm probably not going to get these sets. The only sets I would get would be the World Cup emblem and then the soccer jersey, the 2 cheapest ones. I don't know if I'll do a review. The channel is kind of coming back to being alive, as you know if you have been with me, but definitely some interesting sets here. And then the next one is one I honestly kind of forgot because it is just a soccer ball. And with the first look at it, it's really just a soccer ball. This part is kind of funny because if you look closely on the sticker, it does say for display only, do not actually kick, and I feel like LEGO kind of had to put that on there because they knew there would be that one kid who would take this soccer ball and actually try and play soccer with it, and then, well, there goes your soccer ball. But the cool thing about this set is it has an entire interior, a lot of Technic pieces to open up with a large soccer stadium on the inside, or a pitch, whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of hard to tell from this picture, but if you look inside, it looks very nice in there. You have like the players in the center, a lot of fans in the audience. Is definitely very cool, a very unique thing. The only thing is when it's on display, I don't feel like you want to have just a soccer ball open up, so it is kind of sad that there's all that inside, but when it's on display it'll just be shut. I mean, it's up to you. And then getting into our 2 most expensive sets here, of course, Messi had to get one more set since he was kind of the one who won last year. So this is the Lionel Messi Celebration set for $200. This, I feel like, is the most overpriced set out of all of them, along with the next one is probably tied with this one. But this one is pretty cool. It is a pretty decent build. The thing that I feel like makes the price a lot here is all of the different pieces, as you can see here with all the detail and stuff. And then obviously it is tied to Messi as the player, and it's kind of like how if certain things are from certain companies, they just cost more. I mean, that's just my prediction here, or LEGO just knows that a lot of fans like Messi as a player, so they'll spend more money. So that might be why they made this set for him. But displaying this, you can stand it up or hang it, and I feel like hanging this up, like in this picture, it just looks really nice. I feel like for like kids' birthday presents, if they're really into soccer, I feel like this one look really cool. I can just like envision it in like a kid's room. And then the next and final set here is, of course, the FIFA World Cup official trophy, also for $200. This one I feel like is a little bit of a steep price, but it is a pretty decent thing. And it is also tied to the World Cup. You know, they probably need some money. LEGO needs to make money, so all that. But the thing about this set is it does open up here, which is pretty cool. And then on the inside you can find this like minifigure holding a small version of the trophy, and you can have this kind of like little stand in the background. And now I'm thinking about it, you could take the trophy and any of your minifigs from other sets that are in their soccer uniforms and put them on this little stand and put them inside the trophy. I feel like a lot of people would enjoy that, so that's definitely a cool thing, especially if you have like the Messi minifig, since Argentina won back in 2022. That would be cool. But as far as this set goes, I feel like it's very cool, very detailed. There's like some things I feel like they could have done better on the person holding up the planet, or I forget what it is. Like I said, I'm not that big on the soccer side of things, but those are all of the sets from the World Cup wave. All of these are out. Some of them have been out for a bit, but I think some came out back on June 1st. So definitely a lot of stuff here, but this is all of the LEGO and World Cup waves. Definitely some cool things. Like I said, I am probably going to get the World Cup emblem and U.S. soccer jersey, unless the U.S. team is terrible this year. I don't really know. But definitely some cool sets. I feel like LEGO is kind of taking a step out here, doing like real athletes, real sports. They haven't really done that a lot. They're starting to do it more with F1. And like I said, I'm hoping that they kind of keep going into this, maybe make some NFL, MLB, other like different sports sets. They could make some helmets like they are with the F1, some like sports highlights like they did with the soccer players. Definitely some cool things LEGO could do here. So I feel like they're kind of testing it out with this World Cup stuff. And I feel like things like the soccer highlights, the World Cup emblem, the soccer jersey, I feel like those are going to sell really well, especially if like fans just watch the World Cup, they're walking in their local store, they see the set, they might pick it up, might get it for their kid's birthday. Definitely some cool things here. And then obviously they have the more expensive sets like the trophy and the Messi celebration set that are for adults, so definitely some cool things. But that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure you do like and subscribe if you did, and make sure you tune in for the next video.